Welcome everybody to ESC Fan TV. It's Friday night. It's Melodi Grand Prix final preview time. Yes! So exciting! That's right, we've done it! 6 weeks, we're finally here! Yes! Take me off screen immediately.
Had to be done.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us this past 6 weeks. What a competition. It's been so fantastic. Tonight it's all about those final 12 songs. And we are going to take you through our favourites. We're going to tell you why each of these 12s could win Melodi Grand Prix 2021 tomorrow evening and why. And I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has given generously to the World Cancer Research Fund. Yes, I'm not just wearing this because I enjoy it, although that's also true. I'm wearing it for a great cause. You can still donate to that cause. Go to www.justgiving.com/ESC Fan TV live and give generously if you can. Even the smallest amount makes a difference to the World Cancer Research Fund. Reason I'm dressed like this is I said if we were able to do this for charity and I was able to raise a bit of money, I would dress as Rayleigh and I would recreate the Hero Winter Shower Challenge. And you're going to see that later on. Give generously, guys. We're going to meet the panel. We're going to say hello to all of our panel all the way this evening from, where have we got? We've got Sweden, we've got Belgium, we've got Latvia, we've got Cyprus, and we've got the United Kingdom. Let's give our viewers a wave, guys. We're going to say hello to all of our panellists at some point this evening. No, please not, Stuart. No, definitely no. No more close-ups of me. God almighty. This is going out. This is going to be forever on the internet, isn't it? On the tinternet. Right. We're going to do this in groups of 3. So there'll be 4 groups tonight. And we're going to go through our panel and they're going to give you their thoughts. Make sure you give the show a like or dislike if you hate it. That's fine too. Leave your comments. But most importantly, talk to my friend who's in the chat room, chatting away with you. That's right, my co-host, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Stu. Yes, please keep the conversation going in the chat room. I'm looking forward to chatting with all of you this evening. And the comments will go up. And, obviously, if needed, so will the close-ups.
Oh, my goodness. What did I agree to? Group 1. Let's take a listen. Light up the night. That's right, your first 3 songs, and by the way, these are in exactly the same order as you will hear them tomorrow night, so you can really get a good feel for who you think might win MGP tomorrow evening. First song is World on Fire by well-known Norwegian singer Atle Pettersen. He's a former X Factor and winner of Dancing in the Stars Norway. I'm interested to see what we think about this song. First up, I'm sure, by choice, you'd probably want to be further down the pack, but let's go to Elliot first. Elliot's a dancer, as we know. We've come to know and love over the years at ESC Fan TV. Question for you, Elliot, I guess, is that given he is a winner of Dancing with the Stars, personally, I was expecting a little bit more choreography on stage. What do you feel you need to see more of from Atle tomorrow night?
I think that, give him some dancers on the stage instead of like the pogo metronome microphone stand. Lose that, have some dancers which you can interact with, and I think this can really come alive. Because he's a good singer, he's a good performer, and you said he can dance, and this song, to go into my ballroom and Latin world, is a perfect 4 count of a cha-cha or street dance. So there's potential there for some really exciting choreography, but it was just him on stage and a sea of red in the presentation. So I'm hoping it changes. I hope there are dancers. I don't need literal fire, but I wouldn't be against it. But him opening the show, there's clearly something there, because you always go for a slightly safe or impactful opener. And I think he can tick both boxes. But he does, get some more people on stage, get rid of the swinging microphone, because that was a massive distraction last time, and just let him sell and perform the song, which he can do. And I think he could, be in with a shot.
Thank you, Elliot. We're going to say hello this evening to Steve from the south of England. Steve, I really like this song, but when it actually came to the performance, it just felt like it was a bit underwhelming. What has it actually got to do tomorrow night for you to get your vote?
Well, I think, being first on gives him a little bit of an advantage with a song like this. And I pretty much agree with Elliot. If he kind of changed the way that, the whole staging took place and had some really good dancing, and if he's won Dancing with the Stars, he's capable of doing something with this number. Of course, it could go to the other degree and be absolutely horrendous and over the top. Not that I mind over the top, but I think it's a good song. It's very generic, but it's a good pop song. And I think if he really, really is impactful at the beginning, he has got a chance of getting through to the top 4. But this is a really good field, and that's going to be tough for many of these competitors, including him. But being first on, he needs to take advantage of that.
Yeah, he does. I just wonder whether we'll see an elevation of his choreography tomorrow night. I'm going to come to Marius and say hello to Cyprus this evening, a bit later than it is in the UK and Central Europe. Hello, Marius.
Hi, guys. Have a great show. It's good to be here. Yeah, I mean, this is the first song tomorrow. I'll second everything that Elliot and Steve just said. It's my second least favorite song, I have to be honest. It's Eric Sade, Wannabe. The Sea of Red is distracting. I think the mic definitely needs to go. I remember last time I even said that some dancers would have been great on stage. This is not my cup of tea, and I don't think it will have any impact actually tomorrow whatsoever. And I think this could be a candidate for the last spot. Sorry.
Thank you, Marius. So you crackled a bit there, but I think you felt that this could be sort of middling towards the bottom of the pack come tomorrow night.
Yes.
Well, changes there because I think this song has potential. Song 2 is Rayleigh with the song Hero. Yes, I apologise, Rayleigh, for trying to dress like you. But we're going to find out what our panel think of this particular song because I love everything about this. I love 80 Cinch in Eurovision. More of it, please. We're going to say hello to Sweden. We say hello to Gustav.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Gustav. You love this song, don't you? Tell us why.
I really do love this song. I didn't in the beginning. I don't know if you remember, but I was quite skeptic to it in the beginning. But it's wormed its way up there, and now it's in my top. It's just 3 minutes of fun, and I always sing and dance along to it when I'm listening to it. So it's just fun.
Yeah, it's a fun song.
I do hope that she will be able to deliver it vocally because she's not the strongest vocalist, but I hope she will.
Thank you very much, Gustav. We're going to go to Latvia next. Say hey to Lana.
Hello.
Hey, Lana. Tell us about why you love this so much.
Okay, well, at first I was also skeptical, just like Gustav, but the song is a grower, and now, yesterday, for example, I worked out to it, like we talked last time, Aline washed her dishes to, I don't remember which song, but yeah, now I'm working out to this one, and it's just, there's so much energy that it irradiates, and, Rayleigh is an amazing performer, and I think that as long as she just, as long as the water works and everything goes smoothly, it should be epic.
Thank you, Lana. I totally agree. Joe, so it's interesting description there of a workout song. When it feels like a workout song, certainly Rayleigh's been a pumping and a stretching, as she tells us. What are we expecting tomorrow night, do you think? Do you think we're going to see any changes to the choreography and stage performance?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Yeah, there is. We know there's going to be some. Because that it's already been mentioned that she's going to change it a little, but she's keeping the shower as far as we know, so good on her. And if she gets to that gold final and she's got to get wet again, bless her, then even more good on her. She's just putting so much effort into it, and I absolutely love the song. So yeah, I think she's got to keep, hopefully she'll keep the basics the same, so the chair, the shower, because that's all that matters, because it's amazing.
It is. Thank you, Joe. I'm going to speak to Steve again now. Steve, 80s is really coming back. All the kind of vibe and the charts now is all about 80s Cinch. It's hugely popular. She was top 4 last year. Can she go one better this year and potentially take the crown and go on to represent Norway in Rotterdam in May?
That's difficult for me. I love the song because it is very 80s, and of course I was very, very young in the 80s, and it's my era, and etc. etc. And if you believe that, you believe anything. I think it's a great thanks, Stuart. I think it's a great performance, but unfortunately Stuart looks far more attractive than Rayleigh, doesn't he? And I'm sure everybody would agree, and I think you're probably stealing her thunder, but nonetheless I think this is a top 4 song. I still think those vocals on the high notes is something she needs to be careful about, because it gets a bit screechy. But I think it's a really good song, and I would expect this to be in the top 4, potentially in the super final or whatever they're calling it.
I hope so, otherwise there's been a robbery in Norway come Saturday night. Thank you, Steve. We're going to move on to Stavanger Kammertina with the song Who I Am, which thank God they've translated it from Norwegian, which was Barndomsgata, to Who I Am, and it sounds so much better. These guys have been around. They've been across Norwegian Idol, X Factor, etc., etc., etc. So they are very well rehearsed in terms of stage performances. Thanks, Martin. On Norwegian TV. Let's go and talk to Marius again. Marius, I know you love this in the heats. You loved hearing this live on stage during their pre-qualifier performance. What are you expecting tomorrow night?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I preferred it in Norwegian. And I mean, the English version is also very good. They are experienced. They have stage presence. It's going to be interesting to see tomorrow what they bring to the stage. Something new maybe in their presentation tomorrow. I really think this could do really well tomorrow. Do I see it in the super final? I'm not too sure, but I think they will do a really, really good performance. And they individually they sound really good, but when they come together, they sound even better.
Thank you, Marius. They really do. I'm going to go to Donna. Say hello to Scotland calling.
Hi, how are we doing?
Hey, Donna. Donna, you're on your own tonight.
Solo tonight. Yeah, somebody has actual work for a change, so it's left to me.
So they've changed this from Norwegian to English, and now we have a complete field of 12 songs, all in English, whereas just a few moments ago we were expecting at least 10 of them in English, another 2 in. How does that change the dynamic of this final with this? Because they're hugely popular.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to them staying in Norwegian, actually. I'm still an advocate, as some of you know anyway, of keeping things in the native tongue, because the rhythms usually sound better, and sometimes it's really difficult when it comes to converting the song into English or another language, for instance. And the flow isn't there, and you end up with awkward sounding sentences that don't quite have the meaning that they could have had in the native tongue. But that said, they've done a pretty good job with both. And this one still it's a lot of fun, and it's still a song that I'll come back to again, be it in English or in Norwegian. So whether it will win or not, that's debatable. Certainly mid-table or higher.
Thank you, Donna. And finally, Joe. Joe, look, you were in Norway last year, so I feel for you a bit, because I know you were desperately looking forward to go back this year. And I know you're a huge fan of this man band, as they're calling themselves. How are you expecting them to do tomorrow night? What would you like to see change so they can potentially elevate their position on the board?
I think they just need to go out there and have fun. And I think that's what they did in the when they showcased it in the semis. As far as, and everyone's commented about it changing from Norwegian to English, and I've always loved I love the Norwegian language anyway. Everyone knows that. However, I do actually really like this in English. I don't think it's lost anything at all, and it's actually got quite a lot of meaning. So although obviously the Norwegians will know what it means in Norwegian, but all those international voters, they can actually hear what it actually means in English. So I think they'll actually do better than everyone thinks they will do. And I can certainly see sort of I can't see them necessarily breaking into top 4, but I can see them coming really close, I'll be honest.
Thanks, Joe. I want to get Elliot's perspective on this, actually, and I might ask him a quick question about Rayleigh, because I know, I'm just thinking there's probably another question there about dancing that I perhaps want to tease out of him. Elliot, what can these guys do to really elevate themselves? Because let's remind ourselves, it's mostly Norwegians voting, but the international fans can vote for this tomorrow night, which does add another dynamic to the potential results at the end of the night.
I mean, well, first and foremost, they've got to vote in Gustav because in his words, they're a group of daddies. So they just need more voters like Gustav and they're sorted. I think, yeah, they do. That's it. They just need to sell their performance down the camera because there's no audience. So they need to connect down the screen. And if you can hit your mark and look down that camera at the right moment, it really does like hit people at home. And that's the same in like any reality voting show, whether it's singing, dancing, X Factor, anything like that, it gets you votes. And, they have got a tough slot. And, maybe now it's in English, it might be diluted a bit, but if they really like sell it and emote the feelings that this song is about, because it's a sweet song, it will work. Because we've criticised other acts in not just Norway, in other countries about maybe looking a bit forced on camera or forcing an emotion down the camera. But if they do it and it comes across genuine, which I think it will work out fine for them.
Thank you, Elliot. And I believe you have a comment on Rayleigh's performance tomorrow night, or what we might expect.
Yeah, well, she said she's altering the staging and there's going to be more choreography. She's come out and said that already. So I don't know if that's more dancers or if she's dancing more or what, but it will be different. The water is staying though. And a lot of people are saying about her being second in the running order is a real issue and like a detriment to her. So I did my little analysis going back thing. And apart from last year, the 3 previous years, the song that was singing second made the final 4, which was Mr. Unicorn, Alexander Bullman would talk to the hand, and I forgot the third one. And also in 2015 when she performed second. So she's used to going on early and doing well. And I think people need to remember, if it was just one shot and that's it, it wouldn't look good. But she only needs to make the top 4. So I don't think going on early or anywhere in this running order is a massive detriment when you only need to make the top 4.
Thank you, Elliot. Right, going to go to Tom now. Tom, just quickly, what the chat room's saying. Which of these 3 are their favourites?
Hey, Stu, it's an absolute hive of activity. Loving all your comments coming through, and I'm trying to respond to lots as well. The clear favourite, let's put it this way, is Hero. Loads and loads of comments coming in for Hero. We've had a couple of questions about how it actually works tomorrow night. And as was mentioned in the chat room, flag it up now. 12 songs get performed. That gets whittled down to 4, which then gets whittled down to 2, which then produces a winner, which is quite exciting. I think it's exciting because, like last year, it was Kristen Hussoy, Pray For Me, and obviously the winner, Ulrika. But, lots of love for all of these songs, really. I've been putting as many comments as I can up on the screen, and please keep the conversation going because we love to hear from you.
Thank you, Tom. Stay tuned if you want to see me get wet. That's right, the Hero Winter Challenge will be coming very, very shortly. My homage to Rayleigh's Hero. I mean, so later on this show. Make sure you do make a donation, however, to the link at the bottom. Group 2. This is the songs.
Strings and my lonely voice goes.
Welcome to.
That's right, that's your next 3 group of songs. We're going straight into Kim's My Lonely Voice, and we're going to go and speak to Gustav all the way from Sweden. Gustav, we know you love ballads. This is an absolutely beautiful entry, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's. I don't know how to talk about this song because it's just such a fantastic song. It's. You see, I don't know how to form word. It's really, really, really good, and it makes me feel so much. It touches me like really. I can't hear it without getting emotional, and I couldn't hear that snippet without getting emotional. It's just that good of a song. I really think it deserves to do well, and it should do well because his voice is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I have to say, actually, you don't usually get two ballads of this absolute quality in one final, and it's quite incredible the quality level of Norway this year. Talking of people that love this song, I'm going to go speak to Elena from Belgium. Welcome.
Hey.
Elena, this, as Gustav said, this is a highly emotional song, beautifully sung. His vocal was on point. We compared it to Jack Vigen's in Australia last year, but actually this was performed really well, whereas Jack's perhaps was not. What does Kim need to do tomorrow night, in your opinion, to challenge for winning MGP, or do you see him as a potential winner?
He is my second place, so for me he doesn't have to change a lot. It's like I said in the last years, like if I was there live, I would have cried my eyes out, and then he would be my winner. So yeah.
Thank you, Elena. And Steve, yeah, this is stunning, isn't it? What does he have to do to stand a chance of taking the gold, or is he your favourite?
He's certainly one of my favourites. I think it's a really beautiful song, and his range is spot on. I mean, he does a really good falsetto. It's everything about this is class, in my view. I quite like the staging, and I know there was a mixed view about that, about the guy with the nets and what have you. But it would be in my top 4, but I'm just not sure that Norway will be ready to send a ballad like this during this year. I mean, this is an excellent final, I think, and I think we have heard the songs a few times now, so that makes us slightly biased. But I think this is going to be a cracking final, and there could be a surprise. Let's face it, votes could be split, but I think this is a beautiful song. Do I think it's going to win? Probably not, but I would like it to get in the top 4.
Yeah, it really is stunning. The second song that we heard is Let Loose by Blas Marfian featuring Hazel. And these guys really came out of nowhere. No one was expecting them to win Heat 1. If you remember our live show, I think we had them 3rd or 4th out of the 4 songs running. And they just came out of nowhere. Very much disco funk in kind of a Jamiroquai type feel. It had everything. It was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. Tom, you love this song. Tell us about it, why?
Do you know what? One of the reasons I love this song, Stu, is because it's so different. And the staging, I am so hoping tomorrow night they have clung on to the staging of it, because the way they performed it last time was just absolutely breathtaking. It looked like a winner from the off last time. It's got a great beat to it. It's a fantastic track anyway, but it's the whole package. This is what we want. It's the whole package. And I just love the vibe of it. I love the happy sounds to it. Obviously, I'm a bit of a cheesy person, if you want to say that. But yeah, I'm just hoping it does really well tomorrow night. It's got to get through to the final 4, surely.
Well, who knows? It's such a strong field. Lana, this is this about time that Norway sends a bit of disco funk to Eurovision? And can you imagine this lighting up the dance floors all over Europe?
This time I'm not going to make the same mistake that I did when we reviewed the Heat. And I'm going to say that this could do really well, because someone in the comments mentioned earlier that, like a regular MGP or Eurovision, the person who watches it, oh my God, what is my English today? They hear the songs for the first time, and when you see it on stage, it's very energetic, it's uplifting, and you really enjoy it right off the bat. So I think that people will vote for it if it's their first time hearing it, just because it's just so, how do I describe it? I agree with oh my God, I forgot your name, Tom. I agree, and I say that it's the whole package.
think she's dropped herself into hysterics just then. By the way, I forget his name.
I'm
all
just
the
so
time.
memorable. This is the thing.
You can call him Thingy. That's all right. That works too.
I'm so sorry.
Love you, Lana.
Joe, obviously we're draw comparisons to Sunstroke Project and the epic sax guy because it just is impossible not to. If this were to win for Norway, and it's not currently one of the favourites, but I'm with the guys. I'm with Steve. You know, I can kind of see a potential shock tomorrow night. I just think it feels like it, with the weird year we've had, it kind of feels like that might happen. But could this do really, really well for Norway, given how well Sunstroke Project did? And there's a similar kind of feel about this song on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it anyway. I mean, again, I'm going to go back to that first semi-final. It wasn't my favourite of the whole of that semi-final at all, and it's grown on me, and I've played it more, and it is a total earworm. So I can imagine all those. Can you imagine if they got through, and all those recaps that you're going to have in the final, and all you're going to hear is da 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 da, and it's going to go through you and go through you. Why wouldn't you want to pick up the phone and vote? Why wouldn't you?
I think you might. I think you just might. I think it's a fabulous song. Let's see what the voters think tomorrow night. Song 3 or song 6, if you've been listening to all of the songs so far. Song 3 in this group is Emmy, Which Woods. So, I mean, this was a fabulous song. I have to admit, I wasn't a fan going into that semi-final. However, I think the stage performance really kind of elevated it and blew everyone away. It's enchanting, mesmerising, up-tempo pop. My daughter absolutely adores it. So I have to love it now because it's played in my house almost non-stop. We chop boys like we chop wood. Lana, is that the lyric of the decade?
It is, absolutely. Said it last time, I'm going to say it again. I love it. I was mildly disappointed by the staging, just because, you know, the song is about woods and then you have like the backdrop of a city. I was really confused by that. And then yesterday, Emmy had a live stream on Instagram, and she said that the staging is not going to change much, which I was, again, a bit disappointed. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's going to do really well, but I really love the song, and I'm going to listen to it forever just for the here we chop boys like we chop wood. And can I just say, I was really hoping to roast Elliot today, and this happens to be the song that we both love. So Elliot is overall tasteless, but he's tasteful for this one.
I guess the question is Lana's taste always wrong too now? Elena, you love this song as well. And given what Lana's just said, it could struggle in the final, just given based on the quality of the overall songs. Where do you see this doing, or how do you see this doing?
I don't see this doing good. Like, I love this song, but I can't see it. Like, the staging is so, oh God, no. So I see this somewhere in the middle or lower.
Thank you, Elena. And finally, Elliot, one of the problems was that she wasn't scary enough, or the kind of the illusion of the witch in the woods just didn't quite come across as well as I think some of us had hoped for during that heat. How can she kind of raise this up a bit?
It's simple. Sell it. She has to sell it more. You know, there's the lyrics like "really good car, well, good for you." In a muddy swamp, what are you gonna do? Like, it's scary. She's taking charge of the song and the situation in these lyrics. Like, she is putting fear in this person. She doesn't on stage. She needs to walk like she means it, sing like she means it, and just basically be in charge of the stage and the dancers. That's what she needs to do. It felt very flat last time. And as much as I love the song, and in an ideal world, this would be in the gold final with Rayleigh, I don't see it happening. And, you know, she's only 20 and she's wrote the song, so that in itself is amazing that she's done that. But I was very surprised she got through to the final because the semi-final was lacking. And hearing not much is going to change, she herself has now got to change to make it stand out at all, especially when you see her with Blasmathian on one side, and then as we'll get into it, Tix the other side. She has really got to do something to stand out.
Thank you, Elliot. Totally agree. Totally agree. I can't even be bothered to read what that says. I think it says something like, is Lana and Elliot's choices or whatever. Anyway, Tom, what are the chat rooms saying?
Oh, do you know what? The chat room are in fine form. And do you know what? There are comments in there that are very, very dear to my heart, like this one. Tom has great taste. And, Tom, you are a cheesy person. But let's actually deal with the songs. Let Loose has lots of love. Andrew says Let Loose sounds good and really upbeat. Lee agrees that it's such a strong feel, to say the very least. The quality of the final is outstanding. ESC Manga says, I liked VL Norga better, but after listening to Witchwoods a few times, started to like it. Don't think it will win, but it might sneak into the final four. Lots of positive comments. The interesting comment and the question, I think, for the panel a bit more is, what do you think about the quality of the songs in MGP compared to the Melody Festival and so far? That's an interesting one.
That one's for Gustav, I think. Gustav should take that.
Of course. I have to say that at this moment, I feel that Norway is way ahead of Sweden. It hurts my heart to say it, because Sweden is always better than Norway in everything else. But this year, we have nothing on Norway.
Wow, I didn't expect that. But I kind of agree with you, but it's still early days, Gustav. You've still got a couple of heats to go. But very, very strong Melody Grand Prix 2021. That's your first 6 songs done. Time to move on to our next 3. Let's start with Tix.
I'm a fallen angel, and no matter where my heart is, there's no way I ever feel again. I didn't be all alone. I never just feel again, feel again. We gotta see, we are in this together. Just let me wake up tomorrow with eyes wide open.
So there we go. Let's start with Tix and Fallen Angel, another Norwegian song that's been converted into English. I mean, the first thing to say is that this guy is huge in Norway. This song, by the way, the Norwegian version, I should add, has been in the top 10 ever since this was released in Heat 1. So I wouldn't discount this. I wouldn't count it out. Although NRK, or the viewers of NRK, totally hated the staging. I wonder whether he's going to make some changes there. However, the song itself is a real hit in Norway. Let's go to Marius first. Marius, you've been saying, I mean, we've been talking obviously privately since Heat 1. You've been saying that this is the potential winner. What are your current thoughts?
Well, I remember back in semi-final 1, do you remember we were doing our group chats and I said, look at those wings, and I just focused on that. But I have to say, every night I go to bed, it's probably the first song I put in my earphones. And this has just grown on me so much. He's got a great voice. He's very famous in Norway. People love him there. It's catchy. I have to say, when we heard the English version today, I was a bit okay, because when you get used to hearing a song so many times in a different language and then suddenly it hits you in the face in another language, kind of takes time to process. But I truly believe, although I know who I want to win tomorrow as a personal favorite, but I could see this just going and winning this thing tomorrow. And I think the Norwegian people will get behind this more than we actually think. This could really win the contest tomorrow, the final.
Thank you, Marius. Donna, do you feel the same? And what's your view on changing this particular song from Norwegian to English? Do you think it improves it or leaves it a bit of a disadvantage is the word I'm looking for?
Actually, I'm inclined to agree with Marius. I was a bit taken aback with it at first, because again, it's another one that, because we heard this in week 1, we've got so used to hearing it. And having it translated into English, I went, oh, that's what the staging was about. It suddenly makes sense. Because I don't always like to try and translate the lyrics straight away. I like to see it as if it was in Eurovision and I was an ordinary punter that didn't have any interest in anything else except a Saturday night final. How would that do? So in some ways it was nice to see it from that perspective. But I like it with the English, actually. I still prefer it with the Norwegian, but I do like it with the English. And the rhythms have actually worked reasonably well on it. I'm wondering about the staging, though, how they are going to change it. As I said in the first week when we saw the video, I was like, oh my God, we've done Angels and Devils to death, haven't we, in Eurovision? Is this still going to be appropriate for this song? Does it match this song? Yeah, it matches the song, but I don't know if people are just going to, even with the English translation, if it's just going to bomb if it went to Eurovision, because people see that kind of staging as cheesy. So I'm wondering how he's going to change it. Hopefully it'll engage a bit better than it did initially with me.
Thank you, Donna. Elliot, this has been top 10, no question, in Spotify since the beginning. I think it's currently number 7 or number 8. It dropped a little bit, a couple of places, but it hasn't dropped significantly, whereas others have. Is that a decent indicator that this is going to be guaranteed a top 4 tomorrow night and potentially go on and win MGP?
Yeah, I really am struggling to see this not in the top 4, and I realistically think this is the song to beat. I know everyone's saying KEiiNO, Rayleigh, all these lot. It's Tix's to lose, and I think that's why he's changed it into English, so it can get a more universal appeal. And yeah, like Donna said, when you translate the song, the staging makes sense. It's still as tacky as shit with the coat and the devils and everything. It's incredibly tacky. But if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. And I get them saying it's cheesy, but also, you know, and this is going to get me hate, I know this, but KEiiNO staging was a bit cheesy and it was a bit camp and it won the televote in Tel Aviv. So sometimes going route 1 and cheesy makes it memorable, because on the Saturday night, if this wins and it makes the final in May, you are going to remember the one with the devil horns and the big coat. As much as we don't like it, first time impression, the UK are going to love that. They're going to remember that because it stands out. But yeah, I do think this is the song to beat. I won't be surprised if it doesn't win, but I won't be shocked if it does win. And this is the song I'm expecting to win tomorrow night, to be honest. And, you know, he can sing well. He's a good singer. The song is lovely. It's a universal message that everyone can appeal to. And, you know, it's an interesting juxtaposition because you see him and then he's got this really melodic, heartfelt song. So, yeah, like I said, I just think this is the song to beat tomorrow night. And I am fully expecting Tix to win and the universe to implode on itself as a result.
Yeah, I think there might be a few broken hearts if Tix does win tomorrow night. And to be honest, I've been doing this game long enough to know that often expect a surprise in a national final. You kind of get so attached to songs and you expect songs to win, but reality. I mean, I'll tell you, I remember going over to Berlin with Steve a few years back, and we were hoping for 1 or 2 acts to do really well, but ended up being the guy that won X Factor. You know, so you just can never tell. Tom, round this off.
Oh, hello. Do you know what? Is it Tix we're talking about? I've been responding in the chat room. Do you know what? I've been responding in the chat room because there's so many fabulous comments going on. Tix, do you know what? It's going to make the final tomorrow night. Wouldn't be surprised if it wins. I wasn't too keen on and I totally agree with this plea in the chat room, the angel devil thing and kind of like that kind of thing that was going on. I'll be perfectly honest. I think it could be theirs to lose, to be honest. They're really popular in Norway. The song in English, okay, I'm biased because I don't speak Norwegian, but I think it makes it easier to understand and seems to have a bit more to it. And do you know what? I wasn't keen on this in week 1, but I've grown to love it. So, yeah, it's a thumbs up from me.
Thanks, Tom.
And it's a thumbs up from the chat room as well.
Excellent. Moving on to the next song, Kaya Rhodes, Feel Again. Yeah, pretty well-known singer in Norway. The song itself's really catchy. I must admit, by the way, if you don't already know, she's doing a Feel Again TikTok challenge on her Instagram. And you can learn the dance moves if you want to do that. Go and subscribe to her TikTok and her Instagram. You'll see it all there. But I think most felt this performance, or the staging at least, was a little underwhelming. We'll go to Marius first.
I absolutely love this song. And I just want to put it out there. I listened to this maybe 5, 6 times. I know a lot of you are going to hate me for loving this song, but it just gives me chills. It just absolutely great. Her voice is amazing. I didn't mind the staging actually. If she goes tomorrow night and does the same thing, I don't care. It's the voice, that bridge, the high note. It's that earworm that just goes constantly in your ear, you know, and it's just one of those songs that I will probably be listening in a year or two without getting bored. Love it.
Thank you, Maris. By the way, if you want to take part in the TikTok challenge, you want to learn the dance moves, here's how. Steve, this is not currently touted as one of the potentials to win, but what does Kaya have to do tomorrow night to give herself a chance with the bookies?
Great voice. I think she needs to change the staging completely because it felt very kind of older than she actually is. And all this kind of, doing that with the whole styling needs to change completely, and it just needs to feel a little bit more modern. But she's got a great voice. I like the song. I think it's really catchy. It stays in your head, and it's got a key change. What is Eurovision all about these days? Well, that was what it was all about 20 years ago. But I love a key change. She's got a great voice, but I think she really needs to look to how she stages it, because it didn't come across well. It just didn't look natural at all. So the clothing, the dancing needs to be a bit more on point. I don't think she stands a great chance of getting to the final four, if I'm honest. But if she changed the staging a bit, she'll get a few more votes.
But it will go down as an absolute bop, Steve. One that will remain in our hearts on the Euro disco floor. We're going to move on now, just conscious of time, to Rein Alexander's Eyes Wide Open. That's right, Rein is back. Last time, sadly missing out on the top four. We were all very disappointed about that, but including him, because I think he was fully expecting it, to be honest. Eyes Wide Open is kind of Bond themed, and again, back in the heats, we were debating whether the staging could have been improved slightly. We're going to go to Joe first. Joe, I know you met him last year, and I know he's a great guy. He's a lovely guy. He's come under a bit of criticism with the staging. There's been some feelings that the staging just didn't quite match the song. What would you like to see change tomorrow night, if anything?
Yeah, I would like to see him give a little bit more. I wouldn't say fire in the way that the Vikings were last year, because let's face it, it didn't always go down that well, really, did they? But last year, like seeing it live a couple of times as well, especially in the rehearsals, and being really close, there was just something really magical about what effort you put in, and about the staging itself. It was just, I just love to see that sort of magic come back. I like the beginning. I don't like the spoken word at the beginning. That's the only thing I don't like about this at all. But the chess bit did actually fit that. But then I personally didn't like the dancers afterwards, and I'd just like to see him just change it up a little bit and give a little bit more welly, so to speak. Be really good, and I love the song though. Absolutely love the song.
Thanks, Joe. Alina, you've got something you want to say about this one. Is this a favourite of yours?
Let me see this. Belgium loves Bond songs. I mean, we send a lot of Bond songs, in my opinion, to Eurovision. So this could be a song that Belgium give 12 points to, maybe. So yeah, I like it.
Thank you very much. Elliot, just a quick on this one. The song definitely matches his voice. His vocal range, it's a perfect match. But unlike with his song last year, he was a lot more static on stage, and he was allowing his dancers to do the work from behind, and he was just stood there singing. What would you like to see from a choreography perspective change tomorrow night to give him a better chance?
I mean, firstly, when I watched the show back last weekend, this review show, I was completely on board with Joe. Sack off the dancers. They don't fit the song. They don't fit him. They look like an afterthought. And they seem to be getting in his way almost. I would honestly like have him alone with his backing vocalist and him just march and command the stage. Because as you said, he's a theatre performer. He has the voice and it matches him perfectly. And this is a theatre song. And he has the voice that he doesn't need anyone but himself there. He can carry this by himself. So get rid of the dancers, have him marching around the stage with a bit of purpose, and just let him do what Rayleigh and Alexander does. Because, like the song or not, he's probably got the best voice in the competition this year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And finally, Tom, could there be an opportunity for Rein to make some changes and potentially storm this final? Because he's really well known. He was the final pre-qualifier announced. The song is pretty strong. There's a lot of kind of goodwill with Rein. A lot of people felt he should have made the final last year, or the super final last year. Is there a possibility that he could do far, far better and potentially get into the top 4 and win?
In short, no. I think the competition... No, right. I like his song. I think he could alter the staging, but I'm going to be brutally honest. There is some massively tough competition. And I'm not saying here, I don't think he could come close because he's got a fantastic track. He's got, as Elliot said, the best voice. It's got a fantastic James Bond vibe to it. I think some tweaks and things like that. It could do fantastically well. However, Tix is really popular. KEiiNO is really popular. Rayleigh has gained quite a following as well. And I think all of those just kind of eat away at his vote a little bit. I really like the song. And I think, in actual fact, I think this is a testament actually to how strong the final is. Because in actual fact, a couple of years ago, you probably could have said that this could have actually come through and come really close, if not win it. Whereas this year, I think he could come close, but I think there's just a few songs out there that are just a bit too strong for him. There we go.
There we go. Guys, we're nearly done. We've got 3 more songs to talk about, but you can vote for your favourite song. 3 more coming very shortly, but vote at menti.com and use the code that's running across the bottom of the screen for your favourite. And stand by, because in just 3 songs' time, we are going to release the video of me doing the Hero Winter Shower Challenge. Do not want to miss that. Okay, the final group of songs of the evening. Let's go. There you go. The final 3 songs. Let's start with America with the song I Can't Escape. This took everyone by storm last week. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful, moving ballad sung by America. Also co-written by a former boy band member of A1. In fact, there's 2 boy band members of A1. For those UK fans that are tuning into the show may remember A1 from the 90s. Beautifully performed, unique look, which really matches the song for me. I've got this as one of my top 4 for this year. Lana, is this in your top 4 and why?
It is in my top 4. It's actually my second place. And I absolutely love the song, and it makes me so emotional. And like Alina said about my lonely voice, if I saw it live, I would absolutely burst into tears. But I was a bit disappointed with the staging. Maybe my experience was a bit ruined by the stream breaking last time, but I thought it was lacking something. I don't know what it was, and I don't know how to fix it, but in my opinion, it was lacking something. So I don't think it will exactly win, but I think it might be in the actual top 4 and maybe even in the gold final.
Yeah, so this has got a really interesting position going at song number 10. It's the last ballad, so if Kim were in position 10, maybe we were saying this stands a decent chance. I have to say, based on how I've seen this song go down, I think this is a potential contender to win the whole thing. Marius, do you agree, or do you see that some changes are needed in order to give this a better chance?
I don't think she should change anything because this is like a storytelling. If you've noticed, if you remember the performance, the first 30 seconds, you can just see her coming out of the dark. You can just see pieces of her hair, parts of her face. And then as she tells the story, she kind of emerges. And by the bridge, you can see her in full. It speaks to you. This song speaks to me in so many ways. This is my favorite. If you ask me which song I want to win tomorrow, this is the song. It's raw. It's just everything you need in a ballad. And if the Norwegians want a ballad at Eurovision, this is the one. However, before I finish, I think Joe said this last week that the only problem is with two strong ballads with Kim and America, we don't want to get to the point where one cancels the other out, where they split the votes.
And that's what we normally see in Melody Festivalen, in fairness. You normally have a couple of really good ballads and they tend to cancel each other out. But I guess that does happen that makes a difference in terms of where they're positioned. Donna, talking of which, in terms of Battle of the Ballads, who do you think comes out the strongest?
Oh, it's such a tight one, isn't it? I actually think overall for me, it will be America. It's so close though. I really don't know how to call it. If it was two females, I think it'd be easier in a weird way, or two males. I don't know. But you've kind of got one of each, two very good songs, both beautifully sung. I'm struggling here. I don't know. America might just have it.
Thank you, Donna. Okay, I personally think this is the one to watch, but let's find out tomorrow night. Not long to wait, people, just 24 hours. Second song of this group, and song number 11 overall, is KEiiNO. They're back. Winners of the jury vote of Eurovision in 2019 in Tel Aviv, of course. Boy, that feels like a distant memory now, doesn't it? Eurovision in Tel Aviv. So KEiiNO Monument, huge fan favourite, internationally well known. It's probably worth pointing out that this is the second or third highest ranked entry in Norway as well in Spotify. Lana, you're a huge fan of KEiiNO. We all know that. We did a show dedicated to KEiiNO. Where do you see this song performing tomorrow night? How do you think it will do?
I mean, I think it has huge potential to win. And see, I was thinking, and maybe I'm absolutely wrong, but Tix has a huge fan base, but they are mostly high school age boys who like to party, and then there are KEiiNO fans who are actually MGP/Eurovision fans who are going to watch MGP and most likely vote for KEiiNO. So I think that they have a huge chance to win, and I do hope that they change the staging a bit, which I know they're doing, with the lights and everything, but I'm absolutely gutted that they're changing the outfits, because Alexandra's outfit in the first heat was absolutely amazing, and I'm just so sad that I think she mentioned that she was changing it. But we'll see tomorrow, and I'm excited.
We certainly will. They've had plenty of time to prepare. Gustav, coming to you next. We can vote as international fans, and I think that's an important point here, because it's not just the Norwegians voted tomorrow night, it's also going to be the Eurovision fans, and based on what I know so far, I think if Eurovision fans could vote tomorrow night, they're going to vote for KEiiNO. Do you think that will make a difference to the overall voting?
I mean, I still haven't figured out how to actually vote. It doesn't work for me. But I hope it does, because I really, really, really want KEiiNO to win. I know I told you before on another show that I really didn't like Spirit in the Sky, but I love this song, so I want my chance to support them in Eurovision. I really want them to win.
Thank you, Gustav. Going to Belgium next to Alina. So with tomorrow night, let's assume KEiiNO go on and win, and there's a lot of people that still
No. They will win. Let me say that. They will
So,
win.
let's assume they win tomorrow night. How do they do at Eurovision? Can they compete in the same level that they did back in 2019?
They will win Eurovision, Stuart. They will win Eurovision.
There you go. Alina says it all. They're going to win Eurovision and
Is
live by
Elena
the sounds
always
of things.
right? Yes.
Well, I have to admit, last time I said they wouldn't even qualify from the semi-final, so we'll get. I guess we're going to have to see. I'm not going to make that prediction yet. And let's go and talk to Joe. Joe, you were there last year, and of course, huge KEiiNO fan. How do you say it's such a strong final this year? 12 really strong songs, and as Gustav has said, it's potentially better than Melody Festivalen right now. What do they need to do to ensure that they go on a win tomorrow night? Because everyone's willing them to win, certainly the fandom.
Yeah, that's a difficult question. I mean, they just need to do what KEiiNO do best, and that is just absolutely sing their hearts out. The melody is fabulous. They always sing extremely brilliantly together. And I just think they need to do what they do, because let's face it, that final in 2019, A Spirit in the Sky, you know, there wasn't any better singers in 2019, not even Duncan, than Alex. She was just fabulous. And I just think that if she does that, if she sings as well as she can sing, then she's going to be in the gold jewel. And I think it's going to be between them and Tix. I mean, personally, and if you're looking at who's the best singer, then Alexandra's got it straight away. And I think they could do it, and I think they could win Eurovision with that song. Absolutely.
Oh, interesting. And then finally, let's go to Donna for her take on this. Donna, we've waited 5 long weeks to see KEiiNO back. There were a lot of comments after Heat 1 that they're going to upgrade their staging.
Yeah.
What are you expecting tomorrow night? And are you kind of expecting KEiiNO to walk this tomorrow night, or do you think they're up against really stern opposition?
Oh, I think everybody's going to up their game. I mean, even when you looked at the duels in the different, when you went from the first one to the second one, all the contenders actually up their game each time. So I'm expecting this to be amazingly tough, and it's not going to be a walk in the park for KEiiNO by any stretch of the imagination. In some ways, I am glad they are changing it, because it felt a bit too dark, a bit too moody, and it didn't kind of engage with me. I think I would like them to engage with themselves a bit more as well on the stage. As for costume or outfit, I'm not entirely sure what to expect from that. But I don't think we're going to get this big, bold, bright number. We might even get some of the video with that lovely Norwegian scenery in it as well, because I think that would really help with the storytelling of the song, actually. So I hope we'll see a bit of that. But as Lena's already said, we've got in KEiiNO a strong fan favourite there with the Eurovision fans. They've been there before. They know how to sell this. Alexandra's voice is top notch, and they're going to put in a good performance, and I can't wait to see them.
Thank you, Donna. Very quickly, I just want to get Steve's take on this. Steve, just very quickly, how does this compare to Spirit in the Sky for you?
I think it's better. I prefer this song because I had to remember how I first heard Spirit in the Sky, and it took that one also took me a little while to like. I think this is if I was going to advise the Norwegian televoting public, I'd say this one stands the best chance, and I think Alexandra's the best singer. Actually, I mean, the way she reached those high notes, and she needs to make sure she does that tomorrow. I think this is the one to beat.
Thank you, Steve.
Controversial.
Well, someone's got to win, and KEiiNO have done it before, and they've got a huge amount of fans out there. Right, final song of the evening, song 12, Faith, Bloody Faith. This was the wild card winner, Andre Shansen, or winner, Sister Shansen, as they call it in Norway, and Andre Shansen as we know it in Sweden. This is Yawn from Heat 1, that's right. So many songs cruelly eliminated, including 1 or 2 favourites from our panel. Faith, Bloody Faith, yes, not Beady Bell, Lana. Sad face. Right. Yawn, Faith, Bloody Faith. Gustav, Tell us why you love this one.
I hated this song when I heard it the first time. I am not really a fan of this genre at all, but it's slowly been climbing at my top, and now I absolutely love it. The chorus is such an earworm, and I just want to scream sing it with Jörn. It's absolutely brilliant.
That is good stuff. Alina, so I've just got this feeling that this could be the absolute surprise package of the evening. I'm gonna put my cards on the table and say I think this is making the top 4 tomorrow night. And I can imagine so many people out there are going to be like, oh my God. I can see this being a top 4 finalist because the Norwegians love him. And it's got a lot of airplay of recent times. What are your thoughts on this one?
That he has to change a lot to be in the top 4. Like, his staging is, sorry to say, but so weird. Like, I love this song, but the staging is just like, what the fuck is happening? So yeah, I hope he takes this chance to change and do better.
Well, I think someone in the panel loves a bit of rock. Got a 10 on it. No, Martin, I haven't got a 10 on it, but watch tomorrow. I haven't said definitely, but I think it could be a top 4 contender tomorrow, just like every other song actually, but there we go. Donna, round off the final song of this selection. Can you see this as a top 4? I think I can see it.
Yeah, I can as well. I mean, what's not to love about a bit of Johnny Logan rock? Come on. I've always liked this song from when it was released, and they really went to town with it, didn't they, at the beginning? I just think rein it back in a bit. This is a case of a bit of throw everything they can think of in the kitchen sink at it. And if you kind of stock still a bit, gives them a simplified outfit. Try not to overcook it with his winks and shit to the camera. And just let the song do the talking. I think that will work. I really do.
Thank you very much, Donna. And thank you to my panel. We've managed to do it almost in record time. 12 songs, just over an hour. You can still vote. You can still vote. Do you know what? Note to self: don't let Tom near the banners. You can still vote for your favourite song of the evening. Go to menti.com and use the code at the very bottom of the screen. You're probably still waiting to watch the Stuart Wilder's Rayleigh Hero Winter Shower Challenge. It's coming, guys, after we get our panel's view on who's winning tomorrow night. One name, guys. We're going to go around the panel. We're going to start with Donna. Donna, who's winning tomorrow night?
Oh, God, it could be anyone, but I'm going to say Tix.
Tix, there you go. Let's see how many Tix gets. Steve, who are you going for?
KEiiNO.
Okay. Tom, are you making note of this? One for Tix, one for KEiiNO. Marius, get your pen and paper out.
Tix.
Okay, 2-1. Lana.
BD Bell.
Oh, sad face. Gustav.
Oh, I can choose. KEiiNO.
KEiiNO. It's a draw at the moment. Let's go to Elina, Belgium.
KEiiNO.
Elliot.
Oh God, I hate this. Literally 5 could win. Ideal world Rayleigh, but realistically Tix.
Thank you very much. Joe, who are you going for?
KEiiNO.
KEiiNO. This is a draw, isn't it? Tom, what's the score? Do you know what? I'm not going to go for anything because I'm hosting. Who are you going for?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? It's a 3-3 draw, Stu, at the moment. I've got Tix on 3, KEiiNO on 3. Somehow I've got Rayleigh down for 1. I don't know where that come from. 2 for Rayleigh.
Yeah, I'll go for Rayleigh.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go for Rayleigh 2, and that's a 3-3-3 draw.
There you go. It's a draw on ESC Fan TV. Rayleigh, Tix, or KEiiNO is going to win tomorrow night. Guys, huge thank you for donating to the World Cancer Research Fund. Yes, I'm dressed like a out of shape Rayleigh for that very reason. Keep your donations coming in. Here is the. I'm so gonna regret this. Fuck my life. Rayleigh Hero Winter Shower Challenge. Enjoy a good laugh at my expense. Hi guys, welcome to the Stuart Wilders Hero Winter Shower Challenge. I'm doing this to raise money for World Cancer Research Fund. Over this last year, during the pandemic, many people have not been diagnosed with cancer because they've not been willing to go to hospital or be referred by their GP. I'm doing this to speed up the identification of cancers and hopefully eradicate cancer in time. So please join me. Any donation, big or small, very, very welcome. This is for you. There you go. Done. All for you.
Can we give you a round of applause, please, panel?
Get your money out. Go to justgiving.com/ESC Fan TV Live and give generously, guys. I promise you, if we get enough, I will post it on the ESC Fan TV Facebook and Instagram sites. I'm so going to regret this in the morning. Good job I've had a drink.
Stu, £400 raised for cancer research. I mean, come on, that's you've done something I'd never do. I think that's brilliant, absolutely
thank
amazing.
you for everyone who voted.
Yeah, well
everyone who
done.
donated. Right, guys, we're going to find out who has won or who you have chosen in the chat room to win this year's Melodi Grand Prix 2021. Thanks, guys. See the comments coming through. Appreciate
There's loads
it.
of them, Stu. I'm just going to put them up on the screen. Sorry, they deserve to come up on the screen.
There's only in there actually with vomit messages. Do not post that, Tom. I shall actually do so I can come after them.
No,
get your money out though. You can sell what you like.
Everyone has like bravo, well done, applause, everything.
Hey, it's for a worthwhile cause, so I'm happy to do it. Right, guys, you have been voting for who you think is going to win tomorrow night. In the panel this evening, we've got a three-way tie between Tix, Rayleigh Hero, and KEiiNO. Let's see who you voted for. You have voted for KEiiNO with 234 points, with Rayleigh Hero 172. Yawn, there you go. Yawn, Faith Bloody Faith 117. I told you, watch this one tomorrow night. Emmy Witchwood's 109, and unfortunately a few towards the bottom. Who Am I by Stavanger Kamatina, Ackley Petterson's One on Fire, and Bless Marfian with 76 points. There you go. So we think KEiiNO are going back to Eurovision in 2021 to represent Norway. Fascinating stuff. Let's see what happens tomorrow night, Tom. Guys, join Tom tomorrow night, back on the show at 10 p.m. Central European time. I had to think there.
Later than that, Stu. It doesn't finish till.
Is it? What time are we on tomorrow night?
It's a good question. We'll be on when it finishes tomorrow night.
There you go. So just check YouTube listings. I think I have it down as 10 p.m. Central European time, guys. So clearly we won't be on at that time tomorrow evening. Straight after the show, join Tom and the panel. And then, of course, after Norway's done, join us the following night at 9 p.m. Central European time. That is the correct time for our roundup of Melodi Festivalen with the Swedish as we talk about semi-final 3. Tom, what are the chat rooms saying? Let's round this off.
Do you know what? Lots of love for KEiiNO, obviously. Lots of love for Yawn. And obviously, Stu, let's face it, lots of love for you. Look at that. Annie says, Stu, you look better in a leotard than I would. And I think that sums it up. There we go.
I've been wearing this leotard all evening. I'm about done with it now. I'm kind of desperate to get this show finished so I can take it off because I'm slightly worried if I sneeze, I might be sliced into 3. Anyway, Tom, good luck with tomorrow's show. Enjoy MGP 2021, guys. I want to say a massive thank you to my panel. Thank you to Gustav in Sweden.
Thank you, guys. See you on Sunday.
Thank you to Steve from the south of England.
Cheers, and see you on Sunday.
Thank you to Lana of Latvia.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Lana. Thank you to Marius all the way in Cyprus.
Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow at 2 a.m. Cyprus time.
Marius, when we get nearer to Eurovision, we'll have the Aussies on. They get up at 3 in the morning, so you can join with them. Donna, big thanks for coming on this evening.
No worries. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much to Lena from Belgium.
So, is Celine always right? I should say yes.
Thank you to Elliot.
Thank you, guys. Good luck tomorrow, Norway, and don't fuck it up, please.
Thank you very much to Joe.
God Gweld, everyone. See you tomorrow. It's going to be great.
It will be. Enjoy tomorrow night's show. Thank you, Tom, as always. And
thanks,
good luck
Stu.
good
And
luck
I
with
still
tomorrow.
maintain this should still be a thing. You've always got a tenner on the winner, Stu. We just don't know how many other songs you stuck the money on.
On that bombshell, we say goodbye for now, and we'll see you tomorrow night, straight after MGP21. Enjoy it. It's a fabulous national final. It's going to be one of the best ever. Bye-bye for now.